Welcome to the weekly feeling and type-based podcast, Spiritfolk Saturdays. Today we're going to talk about episode 72, part 6 of The Gods Are Gone Are. I'm your host, Elfy, spirit of I Love You Third Wheel, but stop messing with my recording schedule. Joining us this week are Thero,
Spirit of extra episodes.
Kat,
Spirit of productivity.
Issy,
Spirit of making too much pasta and then eating it all.
and Flutterbutter.
I swear to God, you use that name one more time, Elfy. Spirit of beds. Comfortable beds.
We got a bonus episode this week because of all the support from the Patreon, which messed with my recording schedule.
Oh, right! That was after. I forgot there's 2 episodes to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't terrible because the bonus episode was mostly just fighting. Like, nothing really, over exuberant happened, but it was still kind of annoying. Like, oh, we record on Wednesdays and the podcast goes up on Saturdays. So by the time the podcast was edited, the new episode was already out.
Yep.
Yeah, but, can we really complain about getting an extra episode?
Yeah.
No.
Especially since it's because we got them to, $600 on their Patreon in, a day.
No. The last 2 episodes were them both fighting the weird centipede thing.
Yeah.
I thought there was something before that, huh? Okay,
The
never mind.
centipede, snakes, dragon, spider.
It's like a Laverne centipede.
The person who had the fears that made that really was very creative.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
They covered all their bases.
Yeah.
Except
It's-
clowns.
It's like they had multiple fears and couldn't decide on one, so the spirit folk was
It's like a bogart.
Yeah.
Like when you put it in front of a bunch of people, it can't pick one thing.
yes.
But instead of turning into half a slug, it turned into the most horrific thing possible.
Yes.
Well, it does have kind of clownish coloring.
It didn't have any rubber nose type thing or the bright cheeks.
Yes, because that would ruin the fear. I was just to take it seriously when it's it starts looking at you. It did originally, but it realized it wasn't getting anywhere with that.
What if it was just a giant snake that had a clown wig and the face paint, but a clown-ish actual face?
That might look too ridiculous to be afraid of because of snake proportions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the fear of clowns is, relatively common.
Yeah, but still. I do
I don't know, I think it might be kind of terrifying.
I do like that the sorry, dry throat. I do like that it was based on someone's monster submission. They're not just using our submissions for mook monsters, but for actual big things too.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, 3W. That's great.
3W are a bunch of sweeties.
Yeah, and speaking of that fight, there was a lot of everyone saving everyone.
Especially
Yeah.
Marcus. Marcus has been getting a lot more badass time than usual.
I suggested in the last one that he light himself on fire, and then he did just that. So
Yes. Well, technically,
Multiple times.
wasn't he lighting himself on fire the whole time to get rid of the leeches?
he just set him
I
his
think he
entire
just-
body ablaze in some inferno of hey.
But I think he only did a few times, because didn't they imply that he took damage from that?
Yeah, heavy damage.
I guess he's
That's-
not immune to it if it's fire that's going inside his body.
I think what it might be is that it was I don't know, but some sort of hellfire type thing.
I was going to suggest that it was normal fire, but he was taking damage from the leeches at the same time.
Oh, that could be it. Yeah.
It could be.
I don't know, no one else seemed to take impressive amounts of damage when they were
We
doing
got
it.
doused in leeches repeatedly. So I'm-
Yeah.
And to be fair, he is the squishy wizard.
Yeah.
We're comparing him to Resident Badass and the dude who squished them by flexing.
After being magically enhanced.
He still flexed and
Yes.
he died, along with his shirt.
I
Yes,
will say
which-
nothing on
Thank you, Jackson. Thank you
Oh.
so much.
so much thank you to Jackson. It's
That
always
would
nice.
be the fan service he was going on about then, wasn't it?
Probably.
All hail fan service. We should have had a spirit of fan service.
Gregor's got like, no one's even sure if it's a tattoo or a brand.
I
I know
Yeah.
it's a tattoo, but to be fair, it would be more screwed up if it was a brand, so the horrible evil part of me wants it to be that.
I thought it was a tattoo at first, but it would really make a lot more sense for it to be a brand. 'Cause I don't
I
feel
mean,
like tattoos would be a really easy thing to get.
yeah.
in the chat, I think it was Doc brought up the point that most of his scars look lighter than the rest of his skin, while the mark is darker. So tattoo seems like it might make more sense.
Yeah, but I feel like a brand would make more sense with what they're setting up the Outriders to have been, with, you know, the few details that we get here and there.
Oh.
So, and maybe it was just awkward to draw? I don't know.
A dark thought here. Maybe it's not from the Outriders. Maybe it was like part of whatever happened after they got caught. Like a punishment thing or one of those marks that you put on a criminal.
It's pretty
Ooh.
obviously the Outrider symbol, though.
I know,
Yeah.
I'm saying, what if they used the Outrider symbol as a mark for any criminals from the Outriders, and later most of them were still executed?
If it's a punishment thing, you would want it to be visible, so why is it on his chest, which could easily be covered up by his shirt?
True. But wouldn't it be the same for the Outriders pride thing? Like, why it wouldn't be there?
Could
Unless
be
it's
more
like
the, like, prove you're one of us sort of thing. So, like, if the thing's visible everywhere, then someone can fake it more easily.
Yeah, watch it turn out to be that the Outriders weren't nearly that bad, and we've all just been hugely overreacting, and Gregor's just, like, a prude by nature.
Considering some of the things he's said, though.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
do we know if those are from the Outriders versus from what happened after the Outriders were caught?
That chant he had for the start of the Lily Clan trial really sounded like Outriders were, like, a group that at least did some very heavy conditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, most military and militaristic-y, I don't know the word I'm looking for here, but most of those groups do use cult conditioning and mentality to some level. Like, the US Army does it as part of their basic introduction. It's just something that most fighting groups do.
Yeah.
So, how much of it was that, and how much was they were a legitimate psychotic cult? Like, we don't know the levels here.
I was thinking it could be quite symbolic with it. It was sort of close to over his heart, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it could be
Was
fairly
it?
symbolic in placement too.
Like, which way was it when he was naturally facing the way the Pogs are supposed to face?
It's on the right side for us, so it's on his left.
On his left. Okay. So yeah, that'd be like over the heart.
Yeah.
Or like what people consider to be over the heart.
Even though it's really just the bigger chamber.
Yeah, but still.
I like that. I like that reasoning for it, Thero. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So he does have the brand tattoo thing, and he's got some interesting looking scars, but he doesn't seem to have the Dunstan scar.
It's so confusing.
I
like,
think the Dunstan scar was just like, I think that Jackson just drew it differently from where Jay described it, because he's got a big scar going diagonally across his front, a big one, and that matches the idea of the wound Dunstan gave him, just not the exacts of the description. So I think there might have just been a little thing there where it didn't quite match.
I guess realistically, the way that Dunstan gave him his scar would like probably kill you instantly.
Yeah,
Because it was like through the shoulder, wasn't it, and like down.
Yeah, like into the stomach.
Realistically, people also can't bend steel bars with their just muscles. So, you know, Gregor has no need for your realism.
Realistically, tieflings don't exist, so.
Oh, or you could use that argument.
Yeah. Yeah, my theory is that, like, whatever, because, like, the cut would have started from the shoulder when he got it, so my theory is, like, Ash's healing stuck enough to get rid of the scar, of, like, the start of the scar, technically. but not further down. That's all I've got to like kind of reconcile it.
Anyway, back to the topic of the episode. I liked the narration that Jay did, but I do feel like it was kind of excessive, and like it went from the whole showing not telling thing we talked about, and then just kind of wrapped around back to telling.
Okay.
And I was
Yeah.
I think Jay might have been planning for them to find out, like, in-game, and then when they killed the Spiritfolk too fast, he was like, well, fuck, I wrote all this stuff. I want you guys to still know it, because I goddamn put effort in. I know that feel, okay?
I feel like it was probably more just he didn't have another way to share this information that he wanted to portray, but like, yeah.
Which the two aren't mutually exclusive. Like, he has no way of sharing it because they killed it so quickly, so info dump.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Elfy. It kind of like felt like, okay, what exactly is going on here? But overall I did like it. Like, because it's more info, and I will always take more info about what's going on here. Let's see.
Also, everyone is going to need new clothes, like, desperately.
Yeah. We could leave Gregor without a shirt, just putting that option out there.
Or Marcus gave him another Hawaiian shirt like Thog. And then Hawaiian shirt buddies.
Yeah. There's no other thing. Like, it was casually mentioned that everyone was losing clothing because of the acid, but the only one we get art for is Gregor.
I mean, I think the rest of them didn't lose it that much.
Well, and yeah, obviously.
To be fair, would you really want to see the other shirtless near as much? Okay, except for Kier. Would you want to see the other shirtless as much as him? As much as Gregor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Equal fan service for all.
Equal fan service for all, and potential at seeing more scars, because every time shows up, like, and we can see more, like, body marks on them, it's just like, oh my god, what is that? And there's so much good conversation about
You're right. We could see more of the bindings if we got Ashley.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
My specific...
I was just gonna say, I think it says something that we're not, like, looking for fan service to see her in less clothes. We just want the fucking bindings. That's it.
I have a specific note of Marcus needing new clothes, because, like, when he got onto the thing's head, he, like, ripped open his shoes, and then he's on fire all the time, and he doused in acid. It's like Marcus.
Yeah.
He probably absolutely stinks right now.
Look, he just kept pouring alcohol over...
And soot and alcohol.
High class alcohol.
High class alcohol, but still.
That proves it's a real friendship.
Ash currently has really good taste in beer.
I care about you so much, I'm going to pour my alcohol over you, and it is expensive stuff.
What was that, Izzy?
I noticed there's a lot of hair care going on these last couple of episodes. Like, I've got the exploding brushes, and now alcoholic hair care shampoo.
He's just gonna have the most lustrous flocks.
What was the end slate? Like, most intense shampoo ever?
Yeah.
I think that was for the acid.
No, because that was after, you know, that was the acid, plus his hair being on fire, plus the alcohol.
High class alcohol, because he's worth it.
Maybe it's Maybelline?
Maybe it's Marcaline.
Imagine, like, commercials for curlers for your horns. Give them a little bit of extra length and curl and shine. Maybe they're born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Let's just say maybe it's Maybelline.
That would be the kind of spam that Marcus gets instead of the other kind.
No, it's maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Kiraline.
Yes.
It all comes
kerosene. Maybe it's kerosene.
Oh, it's always at least partly kerosene.
It comes from, like, all the spam messages come from, like, the seventh circle of hell. It's just...
I mean, where do you think telemarketers normally end up?
Exactly, door-to-door salesmen and...
I feel like it's bad to say that, though, because my mom worked in telemarketing. I love you, Mom.
So with all that, have we met our pun quota for the episode?
Presumably.
Maybe.
Never.
Oh. I'm
I
sorry.
have an idea for a pun, but no proper context to say it. So.
Oh.
So, Zelveta saying the thing about the spirits wasn't this episode, but Horvin holding Zelveta off was.
Yes.
Let's
I
all
have
take
to
a moment
wonder-
to be thankful.
I have to wonder where is Velveta?
Yeah.
Where'd
Like,
he go?
He's probably waiting out, like outside the catacombs, maybe. I would
Oh,
think.
I just realized something. I will bet you that Zelveta is going to steal the glass of blood from them.
Zelveta doesn't care.
Yeah. I don't know. Zelveta, for all that they have the sneaky ninja thing going on, does seem like they're gonna hold to their word.
Zelveta's a pretty decent person thus far. I mean, they answered Marcus's question about how to get to the catacombs.
Also
They
pulled,
generally don't
the
say.
dick move of like literally waiting till the last possible second to show up, even though they could have gone way sooner. And again, the joy and slaughter thing.
Yeah, decent people generally don't say to other people, I love the fact that you can't scream.
Decent people normally don't commit murder, and look at who we're talking about here.
I think even amongst murderers, we should just keep standards. There's like Ash murder, and then there's Zelveta murder.
Ash
And then it's
killed
all
like an entire
at the-
town in one episode.
And
I
then
know,
there's
it was
Gregor
horrible.
murder, where it's for pragmatic reasons.
There's Gregor murder, where you ask them to surrender at least 3 times first.
Yeah.
Also just innocently
And then
killed
kill your
people back.
minions.
Yeah.
Sorry
Oh
about
my
the
God,
dog barking.
I am upset about the minions.
Me
Gregor,
too.
I wouldn't be so worried if it weren't for the fact that he'd been showing them open affection up until like a few seconds before that. If he just was like, oh, this is useful, that'd be fine. But no, one of them landed on his shoulder and he went, aw. That's showing that he liked them. He thought they were cute. So if he can then instantly flip some sort of mental switch and go kill Happy on them, maybe that's another thing we should be worried about from the Outriders.
Yeah, because when the minute he did that, like, and it was after the whole "let me cut this ash doppelganger in half without his hesitation" thing, I was just like going, "Oh no, what is Ash thinking at this moment in time?" Because
Yeah.
she's-
I don't know. The Ash thing doesn't bother me because like he knows it's a fake. He saw it just transform right in front of him.
Yeah,
there is that,
there's-
but it's
there's
still
knowing, and then there's like still looking at the face of someone who you work side by side with. And
and there's also the fact that like Ash just watched him instantly, just no hesitation, and she was already going iffy on Gregor before, so.
Yeah, Ash is going to have issues from it, but like I have no issue on like the Gregor side of it. It's like Mustang versus Envy in Full Metal Alchemist. It's just that there's a vaguely similar case of fighting a shapeshifter and they take a form of someone you're close to, but you know it's not them, so you still attack them right away. But like, I don't know, I've seen it played out before, so like that doesn't bother me.
Yeah, here's another question I had. Would it have been better if Gregor hadn't immediately killed the Ash clone? Like, what would have happened?
Oh, God, Ash would have gotten more freaked out, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
what would have happened if they allowed it to talk and like start revealing like whatever's inside Ash's subconscious that she's so afraid of herself?
Anything because it takes the form of fear. I think that's the only real power it has over mind stuff.
what if her fear isn't herself, but was specifically having to face them?
I don't think that would make quite sense in this context.
Yeah, Ash is like, you know, she's already had to face down Gregor because Wizard High School bullshit.
Sure, but that was like, let's try and stop each other from doing a thing versus let's try and murder each other.
Well, the reason I think that this was really interesting is because it can be interpreted as Ash fearing what she could become, and that in the context of like non-humanoid who kills a lot of things in Gregor's interpretation could be a monster, so that would probably also be somewhat traumatizing. Not just seeing herself die, but seeing that Gregor would be willing to kill her.
Yeah, like
Mm.
it's what's really interesting and frustrating is since Gregor killed it right away, we don't know what the Phobos was going to like take it as.
Yeah.
Like there's multiple ways it could have played it because everyone said we're not scared of you, Ash. Like yes, you're scary, but we're not scared of you. But it could be Marcus, if he read the Meath book, if he's figured out that she's the guardian, like it could be Marcus being afraid that she's going to go with her role of guardian and abandon them. So like the thing could have like been going with that. Or it could have been, Ash being afraid of what she's going to become if she keeps using her powers, but we don't know. Because Gregor killed it right away.
I think it probably wasn't Marcus. I feel like if it was Marcus, it would have been like something to do with his past, like in his home country, or it would have been a really stern school teacher. He might have just had a Hermione moment.
I think everyone has in this story. It's just the point where the backstory is the part that they all hate the most. That's the point of their lives. They're glad to get past.
Yeah, which makes sense.
And especially going from Ash's reaction to it, it seems most likely that it was her fear.
Yeah.
Probably. Like again, probably, but we don't know for sure. So conversations everywhere.
And she also like kind of flinched back when Marcus reached out toward her afterward.
Oh yeah.
So
it seems like
it seems like she might have this small grain of fear that it actually came from one of them, even if rationally she's probably figuring it didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, just poor Ash. I wanted to give her a hug after all this. Like,
yeah, she needs a hug. The problem is that there's no one that she would accept a hug from.
Yeah.
Maybe Chara.
Yeah, but Chara's not in honoring it, so.
Yeah.
He's like 2 weeks away. 3 weeks maybe. I can't remember how long it took them to get there.
If she didn't have anything sharp and pointy, Kier could probably get away with giving her a hug.
I think she could still do him some serious damage just with her fist if he went to give her a hug and she didn't.
Yeah.
Well, that's.
I also just had an image of like however many miles away in the Shrouded Isles, suddenly Charoth looks up from whatever he's doing. Mama Ashley needs a hug. and then he transforms into Death Shrimp and goes swimming through the ocean.
Oh my god.
That's scary.
I really hope.
And then he doesn't transform back, so she's just standing there, and suddenly this enormous shrimp that just knocks her off her feet.
Knocks her off her feet, looks like it's gonna squish her in a constriction, but instead it just hugs her. It just wraps around her and nuzzles her a little bit.
I just hope this happens with when Gregor's not there.
Oh,
yeah.
Like Marcus is just staring at this scene before me and goes, "What the hell is that noise?" And it's like this thrumming noise, and he realizes that Charoth is purring.
Dude,
the explosion looks up, goes, "Oh, it must just be here," and goes back to what he was doing.
Yes.
And now saw an image of Jackson. Death shrimp, not death cats. Scream! just because you made the purring comment.
And shrimp even purr.
No.
I can now.
You know, it's been like months, and the fact that Don't is a pig bat still kills me.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a really interesting, like, a bunch of really off-topic conversations I want to have. So, like, I will introduce one of them, is that if they had killed Charoth, absolutely, would that have fixed death on the Shrouded Isles or not, because there wouldn't have been anyone there to control them?
It might have taken a bit. Like, they probably would have to wait for another death god to, like, sense the vacuum of power and then come in.
I'm not sure, because, like, in Oleron, A few gods drove all the rest out, but everything still functions even if it's shitty. So I think that death would work there. It just maybe wouldn't be as easy of a transition for souls.
They
Yeah,
probably
but
with a lot of people stuck around the bells.
yeah.
What
But there's also like Honorant where people have been killing off the Spiritfolk gods, and it's like, what? I don't know. It's weird.
For death, that would admittedly be weirder because there Don't says the thing about how there's the legend that the great serpent takes the souls to the underworld or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I just realized. No, don't let Charoth come there for a hug. Do not. The Honorians will kill Charoth. No.
Yeah.
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 And then
Ash would fight them all off.
Ash needs like a stuffed Chara.
Ash would just go on a rampage afterward. You can only hold off so many Colvins.
Just give her stuffed Chara, like a tiny one that can hang off her belt.
Yeah.
Aww.
And then when she's like my don't, when she's feeling sad, she can hug it.
That's cute.
I do love how we as a fandom have latched onto this, even though they've had maybe like 4 minutes of interaction.
Charath has been in like 3 episodes as like his little form, and we're just like, no, they are best friends now.
Yeah.
Well, it's like one of the few times you see her showing open affection and seeming like not prickly.
Like in Deck Disaster when Molly mentions he keeps having to throw Charath out of the bar, and Ash is like distraught. Like, why? He was probably looking for me.
Yeah.
And also the fact that he came into the panel only when her voice was there during the call.
Yeah.
Mama's boy Charoth.
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
Pretty sure Jay even said that was canon.
Yeah, he did. I forget if it was during an email or one of the streams, but he did. Oh wait, no, yes I do. It was during an email, because it was when I first linked them to like my first fic that I wrote, and he was like, yeah, Charles definitely a mama's boy.
Oh.
Aww.
Oh. Do you think he still has that bangle?
Yes. I
Probably.
bet he wears it on his head all the time.
Does she actually wear bangles?
No. Not that
Why did she have that?
It was in her bag.
I'm thinking that in her pack she's got a whole load of things that are probably from Meath, which are probably lewd from pirates and stuff.
Yeah,
Judging
like
we now know.
Yeah.
Like, it could be stuff that she has sentimental attachment to, or it could be stuff that she took with her to sell if she needed supplies.
I don't think it'd be things to sell because she probably would have been selling them for money and stuff.
Yeah, because she's kind of broke because the guys used all her stuff to install a freaking trash compactor.
You put the trash compactor in the trash compactor. That's another good thing we could talk about is the email we got about pirates.
Yes!
Which is,
Druid pirates. Wow.
Yeah, they're Druidic pirates. They're the ones who eventually settled Meath.
God, I'm just so excited about this, mostly because my most common class I'll play as in Pathfinder is a druid, so I'm just like, I have all the ideas for this.
But definitely the question of what kind of interpretation of Druidic do they mean? Like,
yeah, do they mean like the class, the religion?
Yeah. Like, Ash's whole thing is kind of like Celtic inspired, and Druids were originally Celtic, aren't they? So.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just, and the fact that he noted that they are very upset that Ash is gone, like, just makes me really excited for stuff to happen soon.
Oh, I asked in chat yesterday what everyone's, like, most wanted backstories for different characters were, and everything was very skewed around, but most of them, Ash was number 1.
Yeah.
Except for, I think, one where she was tied to someone else. So, dang it.
I still think it would be funny if they washed up on Meath after, like, a shipwreck or something.
I know, right?
And Ash just tries to swim the fuck away.
I'm still just imagining, like, while they're headed back to the Shrouded Isles after they're done in Honorant, you know, they see another ship approaching theirs on the horizon, and then Ash is like, oh shit, I recognize those sails. And then she, like, poofs off somewhere.
Where they wash up on me, then Ash gets out a whistle and she blows it, and Charoth just appears out of the ocean and just they just sail away.
You call Mama.
Like, I'm not taking any of this shit. I'm out of here.
Yes, yes. What is the
Guys,
most
I've got-
mundane way you could use your tiny baby death god's giant death shrimp form? Avoiding your family.
Seems perfectly reasonable.
See, now it's almost completely off topic, but I'm thinking about, that thing, somebody took a screen cap of an ad for I can come to your family dinner and pretend to be your boyfriend to make your family upset.
Oh, yeah.
How well can you imagine either Marcus or Thog doing that?
Marcus would be really good at it.
Thought would be. It would depend.
I mean, Thog could come across as like actually competent and someone you'd want your daughter to be dating, but he could also come across as so fucking abrasive and unpleasant and sweetie, you could do better.
Like,
Yeah.
the medians are already, like, isolated. I wouldn't put it past them to be kind of at least somewhat xenophobic, so just, like, a tiefling would be like, oh god.
Oh my god.
Like,
They
Ash,
land on
kill
Eve.
it.
Ash just tells them that Marcus is her boyfriend to piss off her dad.
He freaks out. Marcus just takes any stride, like, yeah, sure.
He puts on a
I'll
pair
go
of
along with this.
sunglasses,
Why not?
like, yeah.
Marcus goes the whole hog, puts his arm around her, he produces flowers from the ether, hands her them, they're like slightly smelling of sulphur and on fire.
They're fire flowers.
Yeah. They burn forever or something, classy.
You
Oh
touch
god,
their
no,
mouth.
not more eternal fire. No more eternal fire.
Always eternal fire.
It took an eldritch abomination to get rid of it last time.
Yeah, because Kier made it.
Kier and Marcus together.
Exactly.
Yeah. I
Thank goodness they're not like evil, because the two of them could just do awful things. I mean, think about it. Imagine if they had just said, if you don't pay us enough, we will do what's necessary to put this thing out and destroy the universe. They
Yeah,
could do
Kier
some
could do it.
nasty stuff.
Kier could do that.
Theoretically causing the heat death of the universe. Yeah.
I think he would Kier's like the one who would just like accidentally stumble across the secret to nuclear weapons and then just like not do anything with it. Because
Yeah,
he's not
yeah.
evil enough.
also, there's more fun things to make that don't just destroy everything. He'd rather make something that is somewhat useful, but then winds up exploding anyways.
Yeah.
I would like to see for each one of them what would happen if they turned evil and were going against the rest of the group. Because I feel like out of all of them, Kier would probably be the most dangerous.
Yeah.
He would be terrifying, I think. Especially if he actually knew how to use a sword.
Yeah, but then at the same time, he doesn't exactly. His only thing is his inventions. If they just, like, stabbed him, he's not going to be able to do anything about it.
If he wasn't so distractible, if he used them in the most effective possible way, namely, he started putting traps around the island. If he used guerrilla warfare, it's guerrilla, not guerrilla. I'm just gonna put that out there. If he used that, he would be terrifyingly dangerous because it wouldn't just be him launching attacks with himself. It'd be having traps everywhere.
Evil does not equal competence.
I know. I was presuming that he got more focused this way somehow.
Well, if he was evil, he'd probably be more intent on causing harm rather than just doing it for the fun of it.
Yeah.
He seems to be just inventing for the fun of it because he enjoys it. Whereas if he was evil, it'd be more, this can hurt people, I shall make more of it.
Yeah,
and he's better at hurting people.
He tries to help people and it ends up poorly normally. If he wasn't bothering with trying to help people, if he was just going straight to what he's best at, which is destruction, then he could probably fuck somebody's shit up.
Yeah, maybe. But that just reminded me something from the bonus episode that we got on Thursday or Friday. I was like, saying an imp is delicious is kind of a stretch.
And that imp will be forever called delicious in my head.
Oh my god.
Just Ash, you had a good idea, but Marcus fucked it up by moving too early.
Yeah.
The poor imp though. Like, did it salute to them when it was
Yes.
something?
Ash is going to regret that one badly.
By this point, you can't really feel bad for the imps, though. So many of them die in such short time spans.
And
Well,
they're
how
always
else
so
bad?
like they're so determined, like to just do what they can.
They
I'm-
try, and then they hold vigils for each other.
Except for the one that's the rebellion imp.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, but that's because he was subject to the ban scream.
Rebellion Imp is great.
They never did find him, did they?
No.
I wonder if they're just going to forget about that and like in a year they have another plot arc where they come back to honor it and it's just been taken over by an imp.
I mean, they said honor it was gonna fall. They never specifically said two spirits or humans.
I hope he gets a custom token.
That'd be great.
They're
But
just-
Rebellion Imp is best imp.
yeah, that and then like the imp after they beat the thing, like Marcus summons an imp and it's attacking the thing with its knife, shiv, whatever. And then after Gregor kills the Phobos, I love the fact that Jay was like the imp keeps like poking at the parts and Matt was like tink tink tink. Like you can hear him in the background. It was just like, oh my god, I love you guys.
Yeah.
So I just remembered the line "stole glitter from the gods," and I'm imagining Charos covered in glitter.
That was an interesting segue.
That reminds me of another really interesting thing I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day of what would theoretically the most powerful Spiritfolk be? My guess is going to be the sun. Because, like, presumably there would only be one because there's only one sun, and that would probably be a very powerful being if the spirit wasn't actually just the sun.
But death is a universal truth, and there's still multiple death ones. So I think it's more based on the beliefs of the area that the spirit folk is residing in.
Yeah, but then it's not like if you're the spirit folk of the sun in one area and not another, if you can't just be like, oh well, the sun is not going to be here. That's not how it would work.
Yeah.
There is one sun in existence. There can only be one sun in existence.
Oh,
I think the sun's not like something that would be created by a spirit folk, but if a spirit folk was associated with it, then it'd probably just be associated with it by a certain group of people, and it would be within their area that it has domain, like how Kildal's domain over fire only extends to the Shrouded Isles.
Yeah.
And fire still exists outside the Shrouded Isles, it's just not her domain's fire, so she's not supposed to touch it.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that like Charoth is the god of death for the Shrouded Isles, and he can control death. If there was a god of sun for a specific area, it could theoretically control the sun.
Oh.
Then
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah, then you can't exactly be like, well, the sun isn't going to shine here, but it's going to shine everywhere else. That's not how the sun works.
So are you saying that the spirit folk just controls the sun, or the spirit folk is the sun?
I'm saying that it could be either because there's the whole spirit folk incarnating as different things thing.
So does that mean that spirit folk exist in space?
Why
Maybe?
not? Clearly, the stars
Space
are
spirit
wisps.
folk. Yes.
The stars
I
are
mean-
wisps, and the moon is like another spirit folk.
Maybe Colvin will meet them at space camp.
Yes.
And then try to punch them in the face because
That's what I was gonna say. That's why he wants to go to space camp, is he wants to kill the sun.
Oh my
Oh.
god!
Whoa, guys, wait. Thought. So, what if Inian's a spirit folk?
We've been over this.
Why would she be?
I mean, she hates humans. She has she was at least at one point from Honorant. Honorians keep killing their gods, and she's got all these wacky powers and works way differently from most mages.
Yeah,
Maybe she's a spirit folk.
she does work like most mages. She's just got that one, like, the exception that proves the rule kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I really feel like Idian is like how do I phrase this? It's hard to say because, we haven't actually asked about this, but I get the vibe that the point of Inyad's character halfway is that she is kind of human and she's just really fucked up. And she just has the whole "I'm better than humans" thing because of being a witch thing.
That would make sense.
Yeah. I don't think she's not in, like, I don't think she's anything but human, really. But she seems to think she's better.
If you go with the whole existence of half Spiritfolk, like Corbin did the light dancing across his palm, and I started assuming that means he was half Spiritfolk because that would make the most sense in this context.
Yeah, I still really wonder about that. Like, god damn it. I was hoping we would get something with him protecting a live Spiritfolk this time instead of just, their remains, basically.
Am I the only one who's frustrated that the group didn't ask him why he was specifically protecting that Spiritfolk? Why they didn't ask him more specifics about it? I can't be the only one frustrated, right?
I'm gonna go back to what I was talking about. My assumption is that Ash is a person who has a Spiritfolk bound to her, and Corvin is the child of a human and a Spiritfolk, which would be why they're kind of similar but also not the same. Because whatever Corvin said about, I don't even remember anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. And yeah, I am slightly frustrated that the group didn't ask him, like, hey, this Spiritfolk very clearly is only trying to eat and kill humans. What are you doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not, as far as we know, it wasn't representative of, like, the vitality of an area, so.
Yeah.
Just don't. God damn it, guys! Why don't you ask more questions of the NPCs?
Yeah, the group just seems to pass up a lot of information since they apparently don't even know the name of the catacombs.
So there's like two options, which is they don't ask any questions of this person, or they go to someone random and ask them their life story.
Yeah.
They're like the players who just like slam A through the entire text session for the story of a quest, and then they run straight into the quest.
And then they're like, "Wait, what's going on?"
Yeah.
These guys do have to keep a very good grasp on actually what's happening. They just don't really know the reasoning for a lot of things.
And they mix up names. Zelvetica.
Yeah. The greatest font from Honored. That's what all of their books are written in. Zelvetica.
That's great. Oh, I just want to comment on Jackson forgetting to do the big voice and then apparently being like, screw it, I've been forgetting this whole time, I'm not going to start it up. Like, because he never started doing it during that whole entire fight.
And he just sounded so dismayed, like, oh, I've not been doing the big Krieger voice.
Yeah. And I'm really proud of the idea to, like, pitch the head with the bomb in it, as well as a bunch of fake illusionary heads.
Mm-hmm.
That was smart thinking.
I'm glad that he got the mask off first.
Yeah. Even though he didn't actually say it anywhere, Jay, you are a very forgiving GM on that.
Yeah.
I mean, he made 2 of them fall into holes, so.
Yeah, but there's no, like, I pull the head out of my bag and make sure that the mask fell off before doing anything with it, sort of thing.
They weren't really in his bag so much as just sort of hanging by his, like, the hair on his fingers.
Yeah. Well, I just thought of something, and it's a little off topic, but the Spiritfolk was the god of fear, and the band masks all do that fear spell.
Oh,
like,
so maybe the Spiritfolk was the source of it?
Or they're related in some way? I mean, it would explain why the band were defending it.
Maybe? I don't know, because I feel like the band are more of a general thing for, like, any Spiritfolk, because, they did run into Horriban and another random band on the way to Telvillion's Tier.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's possible.
We really don't know why the band hate. Actually, no. It's pretty easy to figure out why the band hate Anorians on second thought. You're killing our parents / the people who you think we have sex with. Stop that. Stop killing our lovers and our parents.
You are also ruining the natural order of things and fucking up what each of them is in charge of.
Yeah.
Yes, this as well.
Let's see. And then the other thing is, I'm surprised that tree in the middle of the catacombs wasn't more of a thing. Like when was it Kier or Marcus? But when one of them said they were headed towards it, I'm really
Marcus.
surprised that wasn't more of a thing.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah.
Also, skunk spiders. It was actually just the giant. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the biobats and the thing.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll show up later?
Probably.
Because it seems to be a trend of like one tiny monster, one big monster sort of thing with what Jay does. Because like Charoth only had his little ghosty shadow things, and there's only the knife finger birds for the lead up to Telvillian's Tear in the band. And then this guy had the biobats.
Well, the entire Prison of Lights was filled up with a bunch of different creatures that were all just weird.
Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it?
And all the ghosty things were technically different types of ghosty things. Like there was the one that had like the shield.
Yeah, I
How
forgot
many
about
people
that.
do you think are now going to be more scared of the catacombs than the Prison of Lights? Like, out of the group, who do you think now has a new
Ash.
least favorite?
Ash.
Other than Ash, do you think any of them?
Kier?
Yeah.
Kier's like traumatized. Like, oh god, why did I sign up to go on an adventure with these people?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Marcus will be more scared of the Prison of Lights, because even with the getting leeches on him thing, he seemed fairly in control for most of the catacombs.
Yeah.
Because acid resistance.
I don't think Kier's going to want to come back out with them after this.
That might mean we'll get more Thog, though. On the one hand, I feel very, very, very bad for Kier. On the other hand, more Thog. Mixed feelings.
Yeah.
Mostly pity for Kier.
I really, really hope the guys get more time to do more last call episodes.
Yes.
What did they say? That it's kind of that they're in on it right now. There's not really a way to do last call to fit it in with.
Well, if they're fuzzy on the continuity and when it like happens, but yeah,
But
no, I get that. I just feel like with as focused as the actual arcs are, that might be the only way that we get to see our favorite minor characters.
More Cheryl! Are there any AUs or headcanons or whatever that people want to talk about?
I want to talk about one, but I can't because Secret Project. That's all my mind is focused on right now.
Secret Project is making progress!
Yes. Oh, wait, no, I take that back. I do have one. So it's not really related to the episode, and it probably would fit better with last week's podcast, but I was looking at the Patreon and the reward tiers, and I just got an idea of the adventures of Pig Bard as she tries to get hired by Fat Bat as his, like, court musician, and she has to deal with the Potato Witch constantly sabotaging her.
I would read that. I would read that webcomic.
That's a strange and cute idea.
Right? Yeah, that's the only AU sort of thing I have this week.
Well, since it got brought up earlier, Full Metal Alchemist AU?
Yes! Yes.
I see more to it than you just shouting yes.
Cough, cough. Ash is a homunculus cough.
Well, I was gonna say maybe Ash's Alphonse. Because of that whole worry over not being human thing.
Yeah, but I mean, depending on which homunculus, some of them have issues about that too.
Yeah.
Like she might be like Wrath, who, by the way, they should have swapped Wrath and Envy's names, because Envy was angry all the time and Wrath wanted to be human and was anyway. I feel like she'd be like Wrath, like homunculus with some human bit to her that lets her do alchemy, but overall she just is in this constant existential crisis.
Okay,
Yeah.
but Thog is green.
Yes.
Is Thog greed, or is Thog the one, like, non-alchemist, non-homunculus who's just sick of their shit constantly?
That does remind me of a thing, actually, regarding the episode.
Hmm.
Sorry. With Gregor flexing his shirt off, I need art of Gregor with Sid Curtis and Alex Armstrong. So yeah, basically now Gregor takes the place of one of them. Oh god, he's totally Armstrong. This method of defeating monsters has been passed down the Outriders membership for generations.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for reminding me about that.
Anything else?
I thought of a Ruby on a universe with Raven the other day.
Oh yeah, that was
We've
the thing.
discussed this in the past.
Did I?
Have we?
Yeah.
Yes.
I
brought it up before.
It's been discussed. It was like in one of the first 4 episodes of the podcast.
Yeah, because the team would be Kira and the main 3, and it'd be like
Team Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kira would have a gun that's also a sword. I did a whole. Oh, that reminds me. I continuing running theory that I'm insisting is right, and then we're probably going to get a confirmation or not soon because of what Jay said about divine magic. Because divine magic is the same as Spiritfolk magic, and that Ash uses divine magic because of a lot of things.
Yes.
What was one of the? There's some really strong evidence I had for it.
I think healing, like, because I think healing's usually a divine magic thing.
Yeah, there's only one spell in D&D that's an arcane spell that allows you to heal, and you have to take some damage yourself to use it.
Yeah.
Or bards using healing magic, even though they're arcane.
Bards pull off of the cleric spell list, I thought. Or
No,
do they
bards have their own separate spell list. It's mostly
Okay.
arcane spells, but they have a few divine thrown in.
Oh,
And they're just considered as arcane spellcasters, even though they can use they can use spells that are otherwise just divine.
Well, there's the line in the Golem arc about how other paladins challenge the power of gods to channel divine magic, and then also that the divine part of the business of divine magic is creating life, and that directly or indirectly, that's kind of what Talvillian did. Like, growing trees it's not like human life, but it is life.
Yeah. Oh my god. It turns out that all divine magic is based on glitter, and that's why Ash's powers have like that green electricity, because like what's a lightning bolt but like sustained glitter or something.
Marcus just starts throwing glitter over her every time they're in a fight. It's to make you stronger.
I feel like that would be
I
feel like that would be Marcus's logic. Would just like he'd write a book about it, and it's all nonsense, and then just like what?
Well, I mean, if like those paladins tried to steal divine magic, basically, and humans stole glitter from the god, then glitter is divine magic, right?
I mean, if A equals B and B equals C.
Because of course Marcus needs more excuses to throw glitter on everything.
Yes.
But it does bring into question how ASMR works.
Yeah.
Because they exist.
Oh, that's a thing that's been in discussion. Whether or not Gregor is ace or just really, really, like, vigorous in his training in the pure body, pure mind thing.
I'm all on board for Ace Gregor.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both, but mostly Ace Gregor.
Okay, I just figured I should bring it up because there was a big discussion in one of the chats.
Yeah. Yeah, you can let me put it this way: you can pry Ace Gregor from my cold dead hands.
Yes, internet high five.
I support it fully. I just wanted to bring it up because it had been talked about. Trust me, I love the idea of Ace Gregor. And not just because of the adorable platonic don't cuddles.
Yes.
Want to move on to what we think will happen next episode, then?
Yes.
I think they will leave the catacombs and meet up with Zelvetta and hopefully go back to town and get new clothes. And they're just going to walk into the bar, and Thog is going to look at all of them and be like, "What the fuck have you been up to?"
This is why I can't let you go places alone.
I think that Ash is going to have another heart-to-heart talk with either Kier or Marcus. Or maybe finally with Gregor.
Or Thog.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, she's had her heart-to-hearts with Kier and Marcus recently, so I feel like that trend is going to continue.
Yeah, but there's
Yeah, and Thog wasn't there for this adventure, so then again, Kier wasn't there for the adventure where she talked with him, so.
Yeah.
the thing with
Sometimes you need an outside perspective.
Ash and Gregor having heart-to-hearts mostly just turns into them talking at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that happened at the end of Dealing with Death.
Yeah.
I can hope, though. I can hope.
Yeah. I mean, there's always the option that they literally just end up punching it out. If any two members of the party would solve a problem by punching it out, it would be those two.
Yeah.
Gregor's buff as hell. Ash would use buffing magic on herself and just keep healing while Gregor was being a tank, and it would just go on for like an hour and a half, and eventually they would kind of solve it.
I'm kind of hoping Thog will at least be awake.
He's doing better.
He can
Aside from that, I'm not really sure.
Is he?
The only thing I have is I think Zelvetta is gonna screw them over in some way. I don't know how, but just in some way. Like
Or
this
at
whole
least
thing is just
attempt.
part of their plan for something.
I'm suddenly reminded of I've listened to the first part of the arc like 3 times in the past week, and I can't find that one thing they mentioned in the stream.
Oh, the like cipher thing.
The throwaway line, whatever it was.
Yeah, they might just be trolling.
What are we talking about?
They mentioned in the stream, the most recent stream, that there was a line in the beginning of the Gods Are Gone arc that is like a throwaway line that's.
Oh yeah.
A throwaway line that's what?
Important.
Yeah.
Or something like something we have to try and figure out akin to the cipher. Like, I don't know if they said it was a line though. Like, I got the implication it was something in the background.
I'm pretty sure. I think Jay said it was a line.
Oh.
I thought it was a part of the art.
Well, still, I didn't see anything, so I'm.
Yeah, the way I interpreted it was like something in the audio.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, something is going to fuck them over, and they're going to fail the Brass and Lily trials.
They're gonna get back to town. It's going to be being attacked by that whatever Spiritfolk that was in the intro.
They are basically the guys from, I think I might have said this before, but from Outlaw Star / Cowboy Bebop. They are perpetually broke and jobless no matter what they do. They can save the universe, but they will still come out without a penny.
And they just kind of stumble into big world-changing stuff.
They made like 100,000 gold after the events of the Wizard High School.
Yeah, but then they lost it all.
No, they didn't.
Dude, remember the whole reason they took a job in Honor it was because they so badly needed the money.
Yeah, because it's been like 4 weeks.
Thog's been pressing on them the fact that, dude, we need this money badly. Just go get your champion position. I don't care if you actually do the champion job. Just get me some pay.
If you'd like to listen to more episodes of podcasts, you can find us at spiritfolksaturdays.tumblr.com. If you want to join the TI Skype chat, feel free to shoot us an ask with your Skype name. We will be happy to have you. Thanks for listening. We will see everyone next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.